YouTube? Ace of Hearts here. So last night, or not last night, it was actually earlier in the day. The Lakers were discussing, the Lakers and the Wizards were discussing a sign and trade surrounding Russell Westbrook, and the Lakers, Kyle Kuzma, Dennis Schroeder, and Talon Horton-Tucker. I don't know how I didn't see this. I actually don't follow this account, but this account has most of the trades that I see. I'm reverted back to this account from Instagram because I'm not really on Twitter that much. I'm usually on Instagram, so that's why I was pretty late. Like the first time I saw it on Instagram, it was already 11 o'clock at night, and I was about to go to sleep. So I just went back to Twitter and I saw it on NBA Central. So I just wanted to discuss it real quick. Now, if we're talking about just the players, for Washington, it's a good trade because they get younger, and they get more players. They get more of a young core around them. They get Kyle Kuzma, who still has potential. Was he 26? He still has potential in his game. They get Dennis Schroeder, who is like who's a consistent point guard in this league, and then they have Talon Horton-Tucker, who can really be a star in this league. So if it's just for the players, for the Wizards, I'd say it's a pretty good trade. But for the Lakers, I don't know if it's a good trade. One, because the Lakers' biggest problem is shooting, obviously. And if we get Russell Westbrook, I don't really think that resolves our problem, because Russell Westbrook's Achilles heel his whole career has been his jump shot. Now, alongside the shooting, I don't think it would be good to get Russell Westbrook because he's a ball-dominant point guard. Like, he can't really play off ball, and I know he's like a really good passer, but I don't really feel like he would get the ball that much if him and LeBron were on the court at the same time. Because I know he's not coming off the bench. I don't think he'll accept that role. I think he still thinks he's in his prime. And I personally just don't believe that he would be willing to come off the bench. So those are really two big reasons why I don't see it happening. Or if it did happen, why it wouldn't work, I guess is the best way to say it. Just because Russell Westbrook is not a great shooter, and that's our worst. That's the worst part of our game. We don't really space the floor that well, and he's ball dominant. Like we already have a 6'9" point guard in LeBron. I don't really think we need another one. Now, the only thing that I can say about Russell Westbrook that would help us is his defense and how he pushes the ball on the break, and it would help with the rebounding. But in today's league, you need to be able to shoot. So if I was the Lakers, I would personally pass on it. And I know it's Russell Westbrook, that's a big name. But on top of that, we haven't even gotten to the money aspect of this trade. So if we're talking about money, I don't think the Wizards would even accept this trade because it says sign and trade. So if we sign and trade Dennis Schroeder and we gave him what he wanted, the Wizards probably aren't going to keep him. They're probably going to flip him for something else, and I don't know any other team that's going to accept that $100 million contract or that $80 million contract that he's on. I don't know any other teams with assets that will take that risk on him. So I don't really see that working with Schroeder between the Lakers and the Wizards. As for Kyle Kuzma and Talon Horton-Tucker, you can pay them, you can get them for cheap. And I still feel like they have a lot of potential, so I see why they threw them in there, because it kind of spices up the deal a little bit. It's like, okay, we'll give you this guy who has kind of an overpaid contract, and you don't really know how he's going to perform with your team, but what you will get is more depth and possibly a star combo guard alongside Bradley Beal. So that's really, I'm guessing that was their pitching to the Wizards. Now, I really feel like the deal is, I don't feel like it's lopsided. I just feel like the Wizards won't accept because of the money aspect. if the Wizards accept it and they were to be able to flip Dennis Schroeder, it's a win for Washington. I'd say it would be more of a win for Washington than it would be for the Lakers, because if they flip Schroeder for some more players and they get Kyle Kuzma and Horton-Tucker, that makes their team a lot more well-rounded than what it is right now. So that means they would have Hachimura, Thomas Bryant, Kyle Kuzma, Horton-Tucker. They would have Davis Bertans, Bradley Beal. I'm missing somebody. They would have Deni Avdija, who was just a rookie last season. So it would make their team a lot younger, but there's really risk. There's risk on both sides. I think that's the problem with this trade. The risk on the Lakers side, you get Russell Westbrook, but how much more is he really gonna help us in the departments that we need help in, which is shooting? Even though he is a star player and he will make a difference, obviously when he comes to the Lakers, how is it worth giving up that much if we could get somebody better? Like, would you risk getting Russell Westbrook now, or do you want to wait it out and try and get somebody else? And then on top of that, you have to think, what if you don't get anybody and you're just stuck with the same roster? So, there's risk on that side for the Lakers, but for the Wizards, for the Wizards, the risk is just money and going over the luxury tax. Because I know Bradley Beal's on a contract, and they have a lot of other players who are on smaller contracts. And then Kyle Kuzma, I believe, is on a contract, and Horton-Tucker is going to want some money. So, would it really be worth taking on Schroeder's contract and these other players' contracts in future reference for a point guard who's not really going to? It's hard to explain. He'll be more passive than Russell Westbrook, but I don't know if that's the point guard that they need alongside Bradley Beal. So I don't really know if you're gonna risk that 80 to 100 mil to get him, and put him alongside Bradley Beal. And then what if you can't flip him? See, that's another thing. Like, what if you can't flip him for more young talent, or another solid point guard? You never know with those things. So it's both sides is very risky, but I personally would say that it's more risky for the Lakers, because at least the Wizards would get Horton-Tucker, who's gonna be like a star combo guard. So at least they would be getting something, like something for the future alongside their young team. But for the Lakers, it's just I just don't think it's good enough to pull the trigger. Like, if Russell Westbrook had a little bit better of a jump shot, then I'd pull the trigger. But just because he doesn't have a jump shot, it just wouldn't work. Like, the spacing would be all messed up. There'd be a lot of shot clock drawn out because of LeBron and Russell Westbrook holding the ball for too long. Both of them are on the back ends of their careers, so it's not like we're getting a prime Russell Westbrook. If we were getting a prime Russell Westbrook, all right, maybe it's a different story, but we're not. So, yeah, I just think it's risky for both sides. I think it's more risky for the Lakers. That's why I personally do not do the trade. If I was the Lakers GM, I would not do the trade. I don't know who called who, and I'm assuming that the Lakers called the Wizards about this. But if I was the Lakers, I just wouldn't do it. I know Russell Westbrook is a star player. His impact is definitely there. Don't get it twisted. But it's just that our biggest issue, he doesn't help that. So I would not pull the trigger on the trade. But yeah, you guys can let me know down in the comments what you think about this trade, if it should be done, if it shouldn't be done. Who else do you think we should get? I know that Kyle Lowry and Chris Paul is on the Lakers radar as well. But yeah, this is just a quick review of what was talked about yesterday. You guys can let me know what you think down in the comments below. And yeah, man, it's been your boy Ace of Hearts. As always, I love you guys. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. You guys have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Have a great weekend, and peace.